Hello, welcome to the ninth and final Sounds of Louisville at Home digital concert series presented by Denton County Transportation Authority. We are very excited that we were able to bring you this reimagined virtual digital concert series. I hope that everyone has enjoyed it and that you've especially enjoyed these live Q&As. It's kind of a unique thing we've been able to do this year since we took the concert series digital. So we are ending this season's concert series with two City of Louisville employees. I'm very excited for you to get to know them and to hear their music. So let's introduce them. We've got Jeff Peters. Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
And we've got Jonathan Ward.
Hello.
And I guess we'll just start and ask you to each to introduce yourselves and tell everybody which department you work in, what your job is, and how long you've been with the city. So Jeff, why don't you go first?
My name is Jeff Peters. I work for Information Technology Services at the City of Louisville, and I've been there 21 years.
And what do you do for ITS?
Mostly I support the big financial systems, the payroll system and finance, and somewhat the utility billing, all the things that used to run on a big AS400,
Okay.
and I'm supporting those.
All right. Those are all important things, so thank you for that. All right, Jonathan.
So I work for the Parks and Recreation Department. I've been there for almost 2 years. Right now I work in LELA, Lake Louisville Environmental Learning Area. It's a nature preserve off of Keeley and Jones Street. And a big part of my job is just making sure the trails are maintained and that we don't have a bunch of trash everywhere. But another big part is being a piece of LELA out into the city via Butterfly Way Station. So throughout the city, you'll see plots of land that we've tilled up and seeded with wildflowers, and they're all native plants, and they're here for the butterflies to come in as they migrate, and also for the other fauna that live in our area.
Okay. So two people that have been at the city for a longer time and a shorter time and do completely different jobs. So that's kind of exciting, and you get to see the large spectrum of the type of jobs and roles that are played in a city. So I do want to remind everyone watching that if you have questions for Jeff and Jonathan, please put them in the comments. We will take some time throughout this Zoom Q&A to get to your questions. But this is a Sounds of Louisville concert series, so I did want to talk to you each about a little bit about your music and performance history. So Jeff, you have been performing for 50-something years, is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually longer than that, probably 54 years,
Okay.
since third grade.
Okay.
Started on flutophone, and then I started saxophone in 4th grade.
Okay.
So, yep.
And you play with the Denton Community Band, is that correct?
Yes, I have been since about 1985. And that group has been going since 1976, I think. Yeah, it's been a very strong organization here in the Denton area, and this is one of the first years that we haven't played a 4th of July concert,
Right.
or all of those sorts of things.
So how many performances do you usually do with them every year?
It 1, 2, 3, 4.
Approximately.
Six.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Had you gotten any performances in this year?
Yeah, we did a fall concert, and actually our jazz band played on March 12th.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Out in Decatur,
Oh.
and it was just before the big pandemic was being where we were required to really be careful. And it turns out that was my mother's birthday, and so we were able to bring her along and play Happy Birthday to her.
Oh, that's great. That was a fun experience for both of you, I'm sure.
But yeah, we did miss Denton Jazz Fest was canceled this year.
Yes.
And like I say, our normal summer concerts,
Mhm.
July 4th.
But people are getting to see a little bit of that tonight because you do
Yes,
have a clip from a performance in, I believe it was 2018 when you performed with the Denton Community Band.
yes, that would have been fall a year ago, and playing Flight of the Bumblebee on.
Yeah, on the saxophone. So we're going to get a little bit of that orchestra band performance tonight.
Yes.
And so, Jonathan, you have a song, you play the guitar and sing. I also see a keyboard in the background. Do you play that as well?
Yeah, I'm learning the keyboard, but that's more when I do loops. I use it as a space filler to just kind of make ambient sounds to kind of fill up space. And I'm a singer-songwriter, and it's just me when I do like my personal stuff and not with a band.
Okay. So I think you said you started getting serious about your guitar playing about 1.5 years ago?
Yeah, so I started learning music theory, learning different shapes on the guitar neck, learning how to play along with a real melody, and just kind of ear training. So that's improved my playing night and day from where I was 3 years ago to where I am right now. Even like 4 months ago to where I am right now, it's night and day.
So what made you start to get serious?
So working for the city is really awesome. It gives me it gives me time to work on myself. So I have a practice regimen. I like to get up really early. I get up at 4 every morning and I try to practice like 15, 20 minutes. And then when I get home, I try to do the same a little bit longer, maybe 30 minutes. And then every Sunday is practice with the band. So I got a schedule and I try to keep to it and just try to progress.
Okay. And you wrote a song. How long have you been writing songs?
So I've been writing songs like ever since I picked up the guitar, like 12, 15. But you know, when you're writing songs at 12, 15, they're kind of lame and dorky. I still have them all, and I love to go back and read them. I wrote a song with my wife about a math class one time for a project, and you know what? Holds up, not that bad. So if you want to hear the Pythagorean theorem, yeah, I'll bust it out for next year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, for every 30 songs that I write, there's one that's decent.
Okay. Like City John, which is what you wrote about your 1 year anniversary with the Parks Department.
Yes. It kind of started off as a way to keep the guys smiling and working and just to keep their spirits up because it gets hot when we're out there and the heat can make you get real mad real easy, and I like to lighten the mood. And then when COVID hit and there was a chance to perform something like this, I took City John seriously because I had a catchy tune to it. And it took me like 15 minutes, 20 minutes to write, and I think my wife helped me with the ending. And yeah, that was it.
Okay. Well, I think that people are going to enjoy hearing that here in a few minutes. So, Jeff, you had the 2018 Flight of the Bumblebee on the saxophone, but you also just recorded another song about a week or so ago. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. Well, I thought right now there's a lot of stuff going on besides a pandemic. We have protesters all over the country talking about Black Lives Matter, and I thought I would throw a little salute to the Black Lives Matter movement with an old tune, which was actually written by a white guy, but it's called Harlem Nocturne, and it's very reminiscent of the Harlem evenings back in the 20s and 30s when hot jazz was all over that part of the world. And so anyway, and I play that on tenor on you'll notice in the recording I'm playing. It's an odd-looking tenor. It has speckles on it, and it was made not for me, but it was a rebuilt instrument by a man named Woody Wood. And Woody was one of the first. He just passed away a year ago, and so I was lucky to be able to buy this horn from his family. But he was one of the first jazz players at North Texas back in the 40s, when that program was turning from what it was and into the lab band program of the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
And on up to today. And Woody played the lead alto in their big dance band. I don't know that it was called the 1 o'clock lab band at that time, but it was. He was an excellent player and an excellent musical instrument repairman. So I wanted to do that piece.
So that instrument's been around for a long time.
It's actually, yeah, it's a 1917 model instrument that Woody completely rebuilt.
Wow.
And and he painted it. It has speckles on it. Well,
Wow. Are you
I've got it
looking for
right
it?
here. Yeah.
I was like, people will see it here in a minute. Oh yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you don't get a really good view.
Oh yeah.
Oh, heck yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's different.
On my Facebook page, I have several nice pictures of it. But anyway, and then in the background, I was hoping I was going to use my other iPad for this talk, because you can see up on the wall over here, I have some wood prints, woodcut prints that a friend of mine in college did. His name is Brian Todd, and you'll have to see him during the performance, but they are four of the great jazz musicians, John Coltrane, Charlie Parker, Duke Ellington, and Count Basie. And they are just gorgeous woodcut prints that you see in the background.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're very nice. So we've got, a jazz musician and a singer-songwriter, two different styles of music, but you're both performers. What do you like about performing? Whether it's in front of a large crowd, small people, on a screen, what's your favorite thing about performing? Off the cuff with your coworkers, whatever.
Mine's just sharing happiness, being able to make a connection with somebody where, I'm smiling while I play, and if I can make you smile while you listen, and you're getting as much of enjoyment, and we're getting that, I guess, a shared energy, like that's a rare thing, and it's really fun to experience.
Well, for me, I guess I'm a little backwards, because I just enjoy making music for myself.
You like the art of it, the skill of it.
Yeah, and if I can get somebody else to listen to it, then that's great. But yeah, I play guitar also, and bass, and just really I enjoy all sorts of music. And,
Well, I had asked you what instruments you played, and you rattled off like there were so many of them.
yeah,
A huge collection.
I won't go into the list, but I do have two of just about everything outside of. I don't do French horn or trumpet. I don't do trumpet.
Okay. Well, that's however many you have is that many more than I play. So all power to you. Jonathan, you recently joined a band. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so I recently joined Tornado Alley. They're out of Royce City and Denton. I would classify them as Southern rock. jam band. We do a couple of covers. We do West LA Fade Away by the Grateful Dead, Hard to Handle by Black Crowes, and then one of my favorite covers is Colt 45 by Afro Man. We play Mary Jane's Last Dance underneath it, and our bass player has a really cool funky groove to it that it's a lot of fun to play.
Now, did you join this band like before the pandemic?
I am 2 weeks into this.
Okay,
band.
so you haven't had a chance to perform yet.
No, not yet. But they play in Roy City a lot, and I think once COVID calms down, they want to play in Denton as well as Louisville.
Okay, so you've got that.
Yeah.
New thing to look forward to.
Yeah.
I'm checking to see if there are any questions. While I check, every week we seem to get asked, or you are asked, if you could perform with anybody on stage, who would it be?
Jeff, I'll let you take that.
Wow. I actually saw this guy on stage, and I so wanted to go up and play bass with Count Basie. It just an amazing band, so tight, so great. And I saw them down at Armadillo World Headquarters in it was down in Austin, and that was back in '79.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, yeah, before either of you were born.
Oh,
but
no, that wasn't before I was born. I just aged myself. Why did I do that?
I gave you the opportunity. But,
You did. What about you, Jonathan?
Oh man, some people that come right off the top of my head. Spafford, they're a jam band. They're kind of new on the scene, but like what Jeff said, they're really tight. They have really good timing, and their piano player is really fun. And I love playing with piano players. That's one of my favorite things to do. And then I've been getting into Steely Dan, so I've been learning a couple of their songs on guitar and bass, and if I could play bass for Steely Dan, that would be a highlight moment.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a good groove to them.
So, Jonathan, I have to ask about that cat piece of artwork behind you.
Oh, yeah, my wife did that.
Oh.
We got it at TJ Maxx.
I noticed it in the video that you submitted. It was, very, very big and center.
Yeah. Well, it reminds us of our cat Peach. Like, it looks just like Peach if she was tie-dye, I guess. But, yeah, she resembles that picture a lot.
Okay. So you have a cat?
I do. Yeah. Got a cat, and we're looking for another one. If anyone has a really cute kitten that's really rambunctious and likes to play, she needs a friend.
Well, you'll have to check Louisville Animal Services and see if they have any cats that are available.
This weekend.
All right, since you both work for the city, tell me what you like most about working for the city. Jonathan, you go.
Okay, yeah. One of my favorite parts, especially working at Leela, I get to interact with people every day, and that's one of the things I like the most, like talking to the fishermen, talking to the hikers, letting them know, like, hey, if you go down Cottonwood early in the morning, you'll get to see snakes, and that's fun. Some people like to see snakes. And then the fishermen, just letting them know where, go fish where the birds are at, because if you see the birds, that's where the fish are going to be at. And I'll kind of point them in the direction, and just kind of making friends, because you see the same people there day after day after day. And so building a relationship between civilian and city employee, I feel, is pretty key in working for the city, and I enjoy that aspect.
Okay. And Jeff?
Well, as a computer guy, when I was in like 7th grade, 8th grade actually, I said I wanted to be a computer programmer. And in 1972, what that meant was you had to take 6 years of math and become an electrical engineer and all this, but we're talking about Louisville, so but I found out at that time that computer programming is really logic. It's using, you know, figuring out problems and fixing them. And that's probably my favorite part is, especially in like when we do big migrations of one payroll system to another, or just whatever, those kinds of cleanup things and doing, you know, making sure that the new system's going to work properly, and how do you fix the things that aren't working. Those are the kinds of things I really enjoy doing, and I get a lot of opportunity to do that in my current job.
Well, I know that, Jeff, do your coworkers know about your musical talent? Do they know that you perform with the Denton Community Band and about all the instruments and everything?
A lot of them probably do, yeah. I've played guitar for the Leadership Louisville graduation luncheon for quite a few years now. And so anybody that's gone through that Leadership Louisville program has heard me try to play guitar anyway.
I'm sure you're more modest. I bet that you are a good guitar player.
Okay.
Well, and Jonathan, we know that your coworkers know because you like to sing as part of your job.
Oh, yeah. And on that note, I would like to call a few of them out.
Do it.
All right. Because there was supposed to be a City John 2 Saga of City John, and it was going to be called Picks and Shovels. But Picks and Shovels, the Park Ops band, you can't have a Park Ops band with just one person.
This is true.
So next year, I expect a few people who are learning the banjo to learn a few chords so they can play in Picks and Shovels. And maybe we can get Stacy to just, you know, make them do that. You play with Jonathan now.
Well, you know, the people might demand an encore. They may demand part 2 of the Saga of City John.
They might, and I would appreciate that. So we're in the process of writing it, and then once it's done, I would love to get some people from Parks and Rec to actually contribute to the song and have it be like a whole city thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we did have a question for both of you. Either one of you can take this. Nicholas wants to know what advice you would give any budding musicians to make their practice time more efficient.
Metronomes. Get the
Metronomes?
Yeah.
Blast, he took my answer.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the kind of instrument, of course, but with wind instruments, and I've played quite a few woodwinds, breath control and blowing fast air, that kind of stuff is very important. And just trying to produce a good enough tone all the time that you'll be proud to practice and hear yourself. And yeah, I think that's about as far as I can go with generalization.
And well, Jonathan, you had talked a lot about how much your being consistent helped you.
Yeah, so laying out a schedule, I mean, if anyone's gone to college, they understand the aspect of time management. Or if you've done any job that requires time management, like time management is a real thing in your job and in your real life. And if you want to get better at something, you got to manage your time. I have a wife, I have cats, I have my job, I have my own band, I have my personal music that I do, and you gotta grow. So coming up with a schedule that you can realistically stick to is really important. And you don't need 3 hours a day. I play for 15 minutes in the morning and maybe 30 minutes in the evening. So 45 minutes a day, and that you probably don't even need that. And I do metronome on everything. And then another 15 minutes of scale work, and then after that, it's just learning new songs and building up my my repertoire. Yeah, sure, repertoire, and just getting more underneath my belt. That way, when it's time to play jazz, I have something to play. Not that I'm a jazz person, Jeff, but I dabble.
Well, do y'all have a favorite genre of music that you like to listen to?
Mine would definitely be jam bands, but that they touch so much. So in one
Right.
song, they can go from hard rock to country, and that's what I like. I definitely like when they have an original idea, and then in the middle of a song, they do a cover. So one of my songs I'm writing, in the middle of it, I'm trying to throw in "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus,
Okay.
and it fits, and it will be a really fun song to like grab people in.
Yeah.
So I write for stuff like that for live performances and whatnot.
Okay.
But yeah, I hope that.
And Jeff, I know you've played a lot of different types of music. So do you have a favorite type to listen to?
Yeah. Renaissance lute music.
Repeat that one more time for me.
Renaissance lute music.
Okay. I haven't heard that one
That on
before.
Spotify.
Listen to the recordings of John Dowland.
Okay.
You can, if you just Google John Dowland lute, you'll probably run across a character named Paul Odette, who teaches somewhere in upstate New York. But the lute is it's an instrument I can listen to all day and all night. And I never get tired of it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see if we have any more questions. I know that you do have a lot of fans and coworkers watching, so that's always fun. And we've got about 4 minutes until 7 o'clock, and that's when your music videos are going to debut. So I want to remind everyone that's watching to stay tuned to the Wayne Ferguson Plaza Facebook page so you can see Jonathon Ward and Jeff Peters' music. This is our final Sounds of Louisville at Home digital concert series. We concluded the series with some city employees, and we want to thank once again Jeff and Jonathon for being here with us tonight, everyone watching for being part of this concert series, and our sponsor, Denton County Transportation Authority, for helping make this concert series possible. It looks like Carol, Jeff, loves that same music that you do.
Carol didn't say her last name, did she?
You'll be able to see it on the video.
I'll know her, yeah.
Yeah. And Jonathon, you have an Instagram account, correct?
Yeah, I do. And I'll be posting my own music, and if the band wants, I don't know if the band wants to create their own social media or if they would allow me to post on there, but it's city_John, and that's where you can find me on Instagram.
And that's Jon.
Yeah, just Jon. Yep.
And Jeff, did you have any Instagram or Twitter or public Facebook?
No, I came on the Carson show and didn't have anything to promote. So.
Well, we are so thankful for both of you being here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I think that like you said, you had lots of coworkers and fans and family watching. So it's just a couple minutes, so stick around, make sure you don't go far, and so you can catch Jeff and Jonathon's music. Everyone have a great evening, and tomorrow stay tuned because we are announcing you can start voting on the People's Choice Award presented by Black Hawk Photography. So that happens tomorrow at 11 a.m. And have a good evening, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hello, my name's Jonathon. I work for the city of Louisville, and after my first year, I wrote a song about it. So here we go. Well, City John is his name is his occupation. City John's working for Parks and Recreation. He's checking all the parks and checking the lights. Gonna make sure your parks stay bright, oh yeah. you slide, slide nice. Oh yeah. Well, City John is his name is his occupation. City John's working for Parks and Recreation. Working with a smile, working with a song. He sings some songs and make you wanna sing along. Well, City John is his name is his occupation. City John's working for Parks and Recreation. Working for the city, making it pretty. He's working for the city, making it less gritty. He's a friend of the trees and a friend of you and me. Working for Parks and Recreation, gonna save your green open places. Working for Parks and Recreation, gonna save your big open spaces. Working for Parks and Recreation, gonna save your green open places. Yeah, that's it. That's City John. Thank you.